Hello and welcome to today's morning report on Monday the 18th of May with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Tantech Markets. European trading session has got off to a fairly positive start actually, and that's come on the back of just a general slight decline back in the bond yields that we've seen since Friday. And Treasury yields and bond yields, for example, have been the big drivers of markets in recent days. And Treasury yields coming off their highs helped to push Wall Street into a new all-time high on Friday. And that sort of equity markets confidence has drifted into this week as well. You can see here that this is the Treasury yield. That sharp move higher that we've seen in recent weeks. It's just started to come off a bit, settled down a bit, although it's sort of bouncing again today. However, it'll be interesting to see what happens. This is the bond yield, again slightly coming off the highs, but again still may just be a temporary move, and these equity markets bounces. Also these currency markets are being affected by this move as well. The dollar gaining strength off the lower Treasury yield on Friday, and that sort of moved into today. We're seeing corrective signals coming through on cable, for example, and also possibly the euro as well, but this is the dollar index, and we've slightly seen that move higher, but nothing yet really of any significance in terms of trend, and there's not too much movement in terms of the upside, so maybe this move is going to be temporary. But we'll see how that all pans out. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more detail as we go through all the charts. And there's not really a great deal out today in terms of economic announcements. You've got the NAHB, National Association of Home Buyers in the States, giving its housing market index at 3 o'clock this afternoon. That is potentially going to have an impact on the dollar. 57 is the expectation there. The US data continues to disappoint. Friday was a massive case in point. You had the industrial production disappointing. You had the Michigan sentiment as well disappointing, and the dollar was spiking around on Friday, although it has obviously gained a bit of ground again today. I don't know whether that's going to be fairly sort of near term in terms of the dollar strengthening, because it certainly looks like the economic data out of the States continues to disappoint. Lots of US data out this week that could potentially move these markets, but not a great deal today. So it could well be that this move that we've had today is going to be fairly well settled, and maybe move towards tomorrow before we get more of an idea of how this US data is going to affect things. But today, as I said, there's not a great deal. So that takes me on to my chart of the day, which is the euro yen. Now this is interesting, because I see euro yen is a fairly because dollar yen, for example, if you look at dollar yen, it's been pretty much settled, very much lacking of any direction in the last few months. So euro yen is actually quite similar to euro dollar chart, and the euro yen is sort of breaking out. But again, in the last few days we've had these gains, but it seems to be that you could may have a bit of a near-term correction on this euro yen. I think that would be used as a buying opportunity, because I see this as an improving chart generally. Look at these MACD lines at the highest they've been in 2015. The RSI also is nice and strong, highest level since in 2015. Stochastics also positive, so you'd say that this move higher is actually fairly strong. Now you're not also too far away from a move above the 144-day moving average. That would be a position of strength on a longer term basis as well. So if you saw, for example, a close above this resistance high of that February high of 36.68, then that would be confirmation of a strong breakout. But as I said, I think you might well be seeing in the near term a bit of a correction. You've had a bearish key 1 hour reversal, or bearish engulfing, whatever you like to call it, candle on this chart, and it's seen as a slight dip backwards. But I would say that this is coming back into a nice little buying opportunity. You've seen this series of higher lows and higher highs in the past week, and again I think that this is what we're going to be seeing. So you're back towards anything back towards that 35 sort of 35.67. I mean, you could even argue 36 is a base of support, and that's already been, what was that low? Yeah, 36.01. So that basically bang on that breakout level of support. So you're sort of very close now to your buying opportunities. Look at this hourly RSI back at the levels at which they've been consistently seeing the buyers coming back in throughout the past week. So I'd say that this is around about where we should be looking out for our buy signals. So keep an eye out for that. You've got some nice support of these reaction lows, basically between 35 figure and 36 figure. I think any sort of buy signal in there would be where you'd be looking out for. You obviously wouldn't necessarily want it to go below all these moving averages. So that reaction low there, if the crosshair works, no it doesn't, annoyingly. Okay, let's do it that way. Anything back below sort of 34 area would be disappointing now, and I think that the bulls would have lost control in this rally on a move below that those key lows on a near-term basis around 33.50 area. So I wish you good luck in your trading today. I think these dips on Euro Yen are a chance to buy. So I will speak to you later. Thank you.